What's up, y'all? My name is Sean, and this is my first official YouTube video. First, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself. Like I said, my name is Sean. I'm from Florida. I attended the greatest HBCU in the world, Florida A&M University, where I was in the Marching 100, was also involved in other organizations, and I then graduated in the spring of 2022 with a bachelor's in music education. So that's my current job right now. My current job is I'm a music teacher on the high school level and on the middle school level. That's a little bit about myself. We'll learn more as this channel grows. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about why I am starting a YouTube channel. I've been wanting to do this for a little while now. I just didn't know how to start. So I was looking up I've watched hundreds of videos on how to start a YouTube channel, when's the best time to start, just gaining all this information, but I'm missing the most important thing. The most important thing is to just start. Is just turn the camera on and just start. So that's what I'm doing right now. So the purpose of this channel is going to be a wrestling YouTube channel. Yeah, that's right, a wrestling YouTube channel. I've been watching wrestling since I was a kid. So around that time, I watched wrestling not very consistently, not like, I was watching every Monday, every Thursday or Friday. I would be at my cousin's house, it'll be on, and it just went from there. I'm a big fan of fighting games, so it was like kind of like watching a fighting game in real life happen. So that's what drew me to wrestling. And then as I got older, I'll say about like fifth grade, so I was like 2008, I started to watch wrestling more consistently. Like my little friend group that I had, they would always talk about wrestling, especially, coming into Monday. So we just watched Friday Night SmackDown. We're going to talk about it on Monday when we in school, when we had lunch. So I wanted to know like what we're talking about, all right? Because they would just talk about it. I wouldn't know what they're talking about. So I got to watch wrestling again. So that's what led me to watch wrestling consistently. Like that was the time I remember I saw The Undertaker. He was in that feud with Edge and La Familia. So that was Chavo Guerrero, Vicky Guerrero, and I think they were called the Edgeheads at the time, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. And I kept watching. There was also that feud with Jeff Hardy and CM Punk. There was also that firework accident that I thought was real because I didn't grasp the fact that wrestling was scripted. So I thought that whole thing was real. I thought Jeff Hardy really, got hurt. And then I continued, throughout middle school, a little bit of high school. So that whole era, that whole like 2008, like 2012 era of wrestling, that's what I, pretty much grew up on. That was the era that I was consistently watching wrestling. For most of that, I was only watching SmackDown. I was only watching SmackDown for the simple reason was because I didn't have cable at the time. So Friday Night SmackDown came on. I forgot what the network was called. It wasn't the CW at the time. I think it was called My 33 or something like that. So that's how I watched wrestling. And then finally got cable. Started watching Monday Night Raw. Started catching ECW, and then I also caught TNA. It was interesting watching TNA because I thought WWE was the only like wrestling company there was at the time. So when I discovered TNA, started watching it. It was a little bit more violent than WWE. WWE was going into their PG era at that time, and TNA was still TV-14 at the time. So just kept watching it, and then started to notice. I was like, "Oh, that's Kurt Angle. Why is he here and not on WWE? Like he was just on SmackDown like last time." Booker T. Why is he here? And then it started to really like make sense to me. And I even saw Jeff Hardy and like a whole bunch of other WWE people that I knew of, and I was wondering like where they were. I go to this other company, watch this other wrestling show, and they're there. So that's kind of like my introduction is like learning about the wrestling business. Is that it, you can be on WWE today, and then the next day you'll be somewhere else. And that's when I really started to, enjoy wrestling, because I had a show to watch almost every day. I had Monday Night Raw. I forgot what day ECW came on. I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday. And then I had Friday Night SmackDown. I was watching TNA. TNA came on Saturday mornings on Spike TV. I didn't think about it. I was like, how are they making ratings? How are they making money? How are they making sure people watching? They're coming in on Saturday morning. So they probably have been coming on like a Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday, um, before then. So I just faithfully watched it Saturday morning because I thought that was the actual time. And then I kind of, fell off from wrestling. That was around the time I was going to college. So I was like 2016 to 20, like 2022. It wasn't that long. I know I watched a couple of shows here and there, but I wasn't really, following. Plus, I always watch like the highlights, like what's going on in wrestling now, even though I wasn't watching the shows consistently. So yeah, so I wasn't watching really consistently until a little bit after I graduated from school. So I was just getting into the like wasn't like the prime bloodline, like pre Sami Zayn, but it was like the bloodline is starting to form. We were seeing not seeing Solo, we were seeing Roman and the Usos, kind of working together, and then we kind of, saw that progression moving forward. That brings us to current day. Current day, I think I came in at a great spot. I've been enjoying the storylines that's been happening. I've been enjoying, everything that's been transpiring, and just, watching wrestling in a more like mature perspective. Me, being a kid to right now being an adult, now I'm like really paying attention to storylines, following storylines. And I like the fact that, people, like social media, all the rumors of like, who's supposed to be coming back, who's supposed to be winning, things like that. That made wrestling a little bit more interesting. Sometimes it's a little bit too predictable, in my opinion, but still watching it, still in a good place. So yeah, so watch wrestling and looking at some of the, the big YouTube channels that's related to wrestling. So like Kicking It with Ross, Santi Zap, Stash Club Wrestling, just to name a few, What Culture Wrestling, Cultaholic, like those, more informative wrestling shows, wrestling YouTube channels, I should say. And like again, why not? Why not, you know, make your own channel? Why not, talk about wrestling the same way these guys are doing? And also the plethora of wrestling content creators over on TikTok. That's why I really, started, playing around with the thought of being a content creator. So my TikTok, I've done quite a few wrestling videos, just talking about, what happened on the show before, just some of my thoughts and opinions on wrestling. So really want to take this a step forward on YouTube. I don't want to say it's a larger platform, because TikTok is also pretty large, but being able to, post longer videos. So I'm excited to see, where this journey is going to take me, what this is going to grow into, even for like the failures that might happen. I already had one. I have like 3 other videos that are already posted on here, but they didn't do too well. Some, technical difficulties and things like that kind of, discouraged me, and like, but we're starting again, going to be a lot more consistent. Still working on, upload schedule and things like that, but you will see me pretty often. Hopefully YouTube will, notice me and start putting me towards other people's channels and things like that. So I'm excited to see what growth we can make and just talk about wrestling all in all. So if you found this video, I would ask for a thumbs up, please. Did you do it? It's right there. That's all you gotta do. That's it. And subscribe. See that thing right there that says subscribe? Boom, press that bell too. I'd really appreciate it. All right. So starting small. This is my first official video. I am hoping to gain at least 150 subscribers within this month. This is a little bit before October, so I'm getting a head start with this month. So I'm gonna see where we go at the end of October. Hopefully, I hit my 150 subscriber goal. So yeah, thank you for watching. You can go ahead and share this video if you want to. That's fine as well. All right. Thank you. I will see you again.